Welcome back to the FPL Lab, where today we'll be clearing up all the fixture uncertainty up to Game Week 26 to help your FPL planning over the coming weeks. First though, Game Week 20 proved to be a big disappointment with just 52 points and a rank drop from 216k to 226k. Benching headaches proved to be our downfall, with 14 points shared between Bueno and White, whilst double Game Week Shaw only collected 4 points and Cancelo's only currently on 1. Mitrovic really summed up our week with his fluffed pen, and we'll be hoping for a better turnout next week. Only 2 players collected double-digit points, with Kepa's 10-point return against Crystal Palace and Rashford's goal in the first game of his double helping him to 12 points. With doubles and blanks soon to be announced, we'll be looking to gain rank over the next few weeks with our future planning. Our transfer strategy this week is likely to relate to the potential double and blank announcements over the next 6 weeks. Courtesy of excellent research done by Ben Crellin, we've got a fairly informed picture of double and blank game weeks that may lie ahead. Currently we only have 2 confirmed doubles in Game Week 23 with Man City and Arsenal. Both being some of the top teams in the league, we'll be aiming to triple up on both of these in the coming weeks. We also have some likely scenarios. Man United may double in Game Week 22 against either one of Leeds or Brentford, meaning the selected team of those two will also double. I'm hopeful we may find this out before the Game Week 21 deadline, which may lead to our transfer strategy this week. Past Game Week 25 though is where it starts to get extremely complicated with multiple scenarios. 4 of Leeds, Brentford, Man United, West Ham, Nottingham Forest, Newcastle, Southampton and Brighton may blank depending on FA Cup and League Cup results, and there could be doubles for Brighton, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Wolves and Liverpool across either Game Week 25 or 26. At the moment none of these are certain, but there's a looming sense of opportunity lying across the nearby game weeks if you can save transfers, and it's important to plan ahead when you can to capitalise on these extra games. With the League Cup being one of the determining factors behind the fixture rearrangements, which takes place during Game Week 21, we should have nearly all of the information to determine which games will or won't be blanks and doubles for Game Weeks 25 to 26, plus a confirmation of any double for Man United in Game Week 22. For that reason, we'll be aiming to roll the transfer this week and await any forthcoming news. The only scenario where we may make a transfer is if the Man United double is announced with a fixture against Brentford, as Tony would be a prime target given a fixture against Leeds this week. With just £0.2 million in the bank, we'd be looking to downgrade the out-of-sorts Cancelo to a cheaper defender to free up cash, with his priority replacement being John Stones, aiming for a Man City triple-up due in double Game Week 23. If his injury hasn't cleared, we may have to make a decision between Botman and Dunk. Newcastle have been the best defence in the league for XGA since the restart, but a potential blank in Game Week 25 may create a problem down the line. Those moves would then help free up the funds to move Mitrovic to Tony with a plum fixture against Leeds. Having said that, we will still be aiming to roll a transfer, and with that in mind, here's how we line up this week. It's a tough decision in goal, with both Kepa and Ward having tough fixtures where we don't expect either to keep a clean sheet. Ward plays Brighton, who are the league's highest scorers since the World Cup with 12 goals, and Leicester themselves has been shipping in goals of late, conceding 8 themselves in the last 4 games. Chelsea sit 5th for expected goals conceded since the restart, with just 4.7 expected goals conceded, and with Liverpool's poor display against Brighton last week, we're backing Kepa to start in the hope of some save points. 4 of our 5 defenders face off against each other this week, giving us more selection headaches. Starting with 3 at the back and with Trippier as a certainty, the choice this week is between Shaw, White and Cancelo for the remaining starter spots. With Man City having the highest clean sheet odds of over 50%, we're tempted to start with Cancelo against Wolves. This does though depend on his performance against Spurs and any news from Pep. Our final spot is also likely to go to Shaw. I don't expect a 0-0 in the Arsenal versus Man United match, so we'll be favouring Luke Shaw's attacking potential. Since the restart, he's got an XGI of 0.58 compared to just 0.03 of Ben White. Our midfield picks itself, with a strong fixture for KDB and excellent form from Rashford as the highest goal scorer in the league since the World Cup. Although Almiron has been disappointing of late, Crystal Palace sit 19th in the expected goals conceded table over the last 5 games, so we'll be backing him to return. Although we are starting Shaw in defence, Martinelli will start for us as we'll be hoping for attacking returns from both. Our forward line is unchanged, with Mitrovic, Haaland and Kane. Mitrovic fluffed his chances for an attacking return last week, but Spurs looked abject against Arsenal and Mitrovic sits fourth on the expected goals list for forwards since the World Cup. Captaincy this week rests between the City boys Haaland and KDB, or Kane or Trippier. Fulham have only conceded 3 goals in the last 4 games, proving tough opposition for attackers and a potential challenge for Kane. Given Newcastle's excellent defensive record and Trippier's continued consistency, he's a very strong captaincy shout this week. However, our vice-captaincy will be put on KDB, given the plum fixture this week, with our captaincy on Haaland. Let's hope to return to another green arrow this week. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe below to stay up to date with more FPL news and tips. See you next time at the FPL Lab.